Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How you guys doing? So Trump gave a speech to the UN. I actually tuned into it live, but I could only watch for like a minute. It just kind of wasn't really watchable. I mean, I'm here to watch a recap. I think I can get through 6 minutes and 37 seconds recap. The minute I watched it was just like, your countries suck. They all suck. They're all falling apart. And America is now perfect. No one had even heard of America before I became king. Now, in 8 months, it is the hottest, yes, I'll say it, the hottest country. And I was like, okay, I cannot watch this. But I'll try to suffer through it. Let's see what we got here.
Wise, in a period of just 7 months, I have ended 7 unendable wars. They said they were unendable. You're never going to get them solved. Some were going.
Except for the only 2 that anyone, of the most prevalence, right? You ended 7 wars, but not the 2 that are by far the most prevalent and biggest wars that you said you would end. But you ended 7 other wars no one had heard about. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make light of wars, but it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
For 31 years, 2 of them, 31, think of it, 31 years. One was 36 years. One was 28 years. I ended 7 wars. And in all cases, they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle.
I heard about that. They tried to stop him. That's such a dumb conspiracy theory because it's like you really think they tried to stop him by stopping the escalator? I mean, I know Trump is old, but I think he can walk upstairs, and I think they knew that. So,
if the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen, but she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood.
That's not, to me, that's not the marker of being in great shape if you don't fall on an escalator when it stops. But I guess for seniors, genuinely, I mean, okay, for senior citizens, I guess that's a fine test.
And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. What is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential. I've always said it. It has such tremendous, tremendous potential, but it's not even coming close to living up to that potential. For the most part, at least for now, all they seem to do is write a...
I don't even really know what he means by that. Like, what potential do you, Donald Trump, see in the UN? Like, because you're like super anti-globalist, right? You're like an isolationist. So why do you think the UN, the United Nations, which is like every country in the world, has potential? I don't understand.
Really strongly worded letter, and then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war. Many years ago, a very successful real estate developer in New York.
I will say, I don't think he actually is an isolationist. I think that would require having some sort of like principled values that you stand on, like philosophical principle values. I don't think he has those. So I think, that's why on one hand he has these isolationist policies, and on the other hand he's like, the UN could be awesome. We should expand it. And it's like, huh? It's because he doesn't think along those lines,
Known as Donald J. Trump.
He's not exactly Hamilton, It's not Thomas Jefferson up here.
on the renovation and rebuilding of this very United Nations complex. I remember it so well. I said at the time that I would do it for 500
Holy shit! I can't stand how much he just talks about the buildings. That's all he talks about. All he talks about is the renovation of the Federal Reserve Building and the ballroom at the White House. Now this building, it's so superficial. I don't give a fuck.
bid on the
Sorry.
renovation and rebuilding of this very United Nations complex. I remember it so well. I said at the time that I would do it for $500 million, rebuilding everything. It'd be beautiful. I used to talk about, I'm going to give you marble floors. They're going to give you terrazzo. I'm going to give you the best of everything. You're going to have mahogany walls. They're going to give you.
I mean, it's just another like stark contradiction again. You know, like you compare this to the whole Doge thing, where it's like the government shouldn't be spending taxpayer money on superfluous things, you know? We need to cut the budget. The government wastes money. Then you have Trump like, we're gonna get marble floors, mahogany wall. I'm too poor to even know like what that means. Mahogany wall. I mean, okay, that means nothing to me. You have wood walls. Cool.
Plastic. But they decided to go in another direction, which was much more expensive at the time, and which actually produced a far inferior product. And I realized that
Who gives a fuck?
they did not know what they were doing when it came to construction, and that their building concepts were so wrong, and the product that they were proposing to build was so
This part's actually even worse than I'd rather listen to him say, "Your countries suck."
bad and so costly.
This is just
It was going to
boring.
cost them a fortune. And I said, and wait till you see the overruns. Well, I turned out to be right. They had massive cost overruns and spent between $2 and $4 billion on the building and did not even get the marble floors that I promised them.
Oh
You walk on terrazzo. Do you notice that?
no! No!
As far as I'm concerned, frankly, looking at the building and getting stuck on the escalator, they still haven't finished the job. They still haven't finished. That was years ago. Millions of people came through that southern border just a year ago. Millions and millions of people were pouring in, 25 million altogether over the 4 years of the incompetent Biden administration. And now we have it stopped, totally stopped. In fact, they're not even coming anymore because they know they can't get through. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them. In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime, and deplete our social safety net. We have reasserted that America belongs to the American people, and I encourage all countries to take their own stand in defense.
You know what? I'm going to say super controversial thing here, which is that this was a big factor on why he won the presidency for the second time and the first time. And it's something that the Democrats just they didn't really make any sense on this issue, you know? As far as illegal immigration, people wanted illegal immigration to stop. So it's just like a fail, you know. In my opinion, it was just a fail on the Democrats. I don't know why. Why is anyone in favor of illegal immigration? Now, of course, there's all sorts of terrible, horrible bullshit that stems off of that. But anyway.
Of their citizens as well.
Like, I'm not saying everything Trump did about illegal immigration was good. It wasn't, and it isn't. But still, just fundamentally, like, the issue itself, for some reason, Democrats felt like they had to be like, no, illegal immigration? It's pretty good.
You have to do that because I see it. I'm not mentioning names. I see it, and I can call every single one of them out. You're destroying
Now we're stuck with this moron.
countries. They're being destroyed. Europe is in serious.
Oh, here we go. Here it is.
Destroying.
This is the part I tuned into.
They're being destroyed.
They're being destroyed.
Europe is in serious trouble. They've been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before.
I don't think most of them are illegal. Like I think that just shows a total, maybe I'm wrong. Hey, I'm not an expert on any of these topics at all. But anyway, in America, illegal immigration was the topic, right? Illegal. Sneaking past the border, southern border. In Europe, as far as I know, most of it's asylum and it's policies that have allowed millions of people, asylum seekers, to come in. So it's just a different thing. I mean, that's not illegal, right? It's legal. Now, people can still be against it, but when Trump says it's illegal, and I know there is some illegal immigration. I happened to see a breakdown of it the other day of how much was legal versus illegal. Anyway.
Illegal aliens are pouring into Europe. Nobody is ever, and nobody's doing anything to change it, to get them out. It's not sustainable. And because they choose to be politically correct, they're doing just absolutely nothing about it. I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible, terrible mayor. And it's been so changed, so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law. But you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will
The Sharia law in London?
be the death of Western Europe
Is this, what?
if something is not done immediately. This cannot be
I
sustained.
feel like that's just an example of, you can just say anything anymore and, the truth doesn't matter. Like, really? Sharia law in London? I guess I got to brush up on this, guys. What's going on?
Another UN official stated in 1989 that within a decade, entire nations could be wiped off the map by global warming. Not happening. It used to be global cooling. If you look back years ago in the 1920s and the 1930s, they said, global cooling will kill the world. We have to do something. Then they said global warming will kill the world. But then it started getting cooler. So now they could just call it climate change because that way they can't miss. It's climate change. Because if it goes higher or lower, whatever the hell happens, there's climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. Climate change, no matter what happens, you're involved in that. No more global warming, no more global cooling. All of these predictions made by the United Nations and many others, often for bad reasons, were wrong. They were made by stupid people that have cost their countries fortunes and given those same countries no chance for success. If you don't get away from this,
It's we have to be living in a simulation. This has to be an episode of The Simpsons or something. The way he just the way he addresses the United Nations is just so corny, so stupid. Made up by stupid people. Come on, man. At least find a different adjective, You sound stupid saying that.
this green scam, your country is going to fail.
Wow. Dare I read some comments? Hey, it's like Homer addressing the UN. I swear I didn't read that. Wow. Idiocracy is upon us. You guys seen that movie, Idiocracy? I don't know if it was big outside of America. It's a little bit old at this point. But man, it is a gem. Go watch that if you haven't. How many translators were sacked because of seemingly insane translations when in fact they were accurate? Okay, I'm done. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.